Hello. Hello, I'm Snail Toonkind, and welcome to our FPS.
Audio, no! I just hit
It's me, AudioVizual, not your lovely snail. I am an
Please,
imposter.
no. Kai will smite us. Well, Kai will smite you. I didn't do anything.
It would be well deserved. I'm impersonating a moderator. Send me to jail. Welcome to our
You-
FPS. It's me and Vamp. Hello.
Okay.
Vamp, who are you playing today?
Are you asking me?
Yes, I am. No, I'm asking the audience. Who is the audience playing today? Twitch plays Mersel.
Oh my god. No, the audience is gonna be playing the poor dummy.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to think of a name for the poor dummy, by the way.
We could call them sad dummy.
I like that. So let's do an actual intro and not just 10 minutes of me coming in swinging with a baseball bat and you just staring at the carnage. Um, so
God. Yeah. Anyway, hi, I'm Vamp. I shall be playing Marcel, and this little imposter shall be playing Bon.
yep, yep. Bon Arlo. And the scene opens up at Dodo Studios. They're still on break, as most things tend to be whenever there's only so many movies to make in the course of how fast can we make a trilogy, and then everyone go take a break. But Moves is still doing Moves things, so Bon and Mersel are still stuck in the studio, at least part-time.
Yeah, like I don't think Sal has to be there as much as he would be if the whole studio was operational, but he's definitely still there.
Mm-hmm. Bon, handshake, Mersel, part of the support staff, so doesn't get as much of a break as everyone else. Uh,
Um, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But Bon, I assume you're probably in your office right now, like seated and watching like the door with that kind of expression where you're just like someone's going to walk in like any moment now, bleeding out. You just know it.
You know what? Yeah, Bon probably alternates between like working on work and like fucking around with stuff for Sandy or something for Gil or Marcel or who knows, and
Yeah,
staring at the door menacingly.
yeah. And why don't you roll a perception?
Amazing. Why don't I roll a perception? A 17.
17. Okay, you hear the familiar click, 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 click of heels, and there's only one person in the studio who wears heels like all the time. You've never seen him take them off.
It would be scandalous if he did. Um, so Bond probably kind of straightens up whatever they're doing and kind of scooches their chair back already, like prepared for Marcel to arrive.
Yeah, and like it's that thing where he's like, ah, yes, there are three options. Number one, Marcel came here just to talk. Number two, Marcel came here to feed Bon, which has Bon eaten today?
Bond's probably eaten today. They've
All right,
gotten into better habits.
good. To check if Bon has eaten, or number three, Marcel is somehow injured, but he doubts that considering, and they would probably doubt that considering Marcel fucking, oh, this but a scratch.
Tis but a scratch. Yeah. Um, it's really a toss up some days, but why Marcel is coming in, who knows? Maybe there's a penguin stuck in the rafters.
Yeah. Or maybe Jack pulled a prank and he's like seething with rage.
Yeah.
But the door opens and Marcel comes in and he's not holding any food. He's not kind of like squinting at you like, have you eaten? He doesn't look injured. He isn't bleeding or anything. He just comes in and it's just like, hey Bon, so seems to be just a social visit.
Mm-hmm. Um, Bon kind of like scooches back from their chair and like casually kind of like props an elbow up on their desk and then like, hey kid, what's up?
Hey, are you busy right now?
Bon kind of looks at their desk and weighs it and they're like, nah, I'm not busy.
Okay, and I'm gonna roll something real quick. Sal takes out a potted plant from his hat,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it is like pretty. It's a potted plant. It's also burnt.
Um, Bon looks at the potted potted kindling, um, and they're like, "Is this a gift for me? Do you need me to put it out of its misery?"
I think like I think at Fawn's confusion, Rizal just kind of starts like giggling, like, and yeah, it is that sinister like chuckle you have like associated with him before. He's like, no, no, well, he kind of puts the plant down on your desk and winces as even just doing that causes the whole plant to like collapse into ash.
Oh my
No,
god.
I was trying out a spell on this. I was trying out. I was trying to do something with this plant.
Was it burn it to a crisp? Because you really managed it. I will hold a funeral later.
No, it wasn't to burn it to a crisp. He reaches into his hat and takes out another plant, and this one is frozen over, like block of ice frozen over.
Oh my
And he
god.
sets this one on the desk. And the second he sets it down on the desk, it shatters.
Bond just stares at that pot too, and they're like, okay, do you need a gardener?
No, Sal's kind of like pulling at his sleeves and poking his fingers together, kind of sheepishly, and I was trying to heal the plants.
Bond just kind of like, there's a real face journey as they like look at Mersel and like look at the plants and like consider the plants, and they look at Mersel and they look at the state of the plants and they look at Mersel and they like prayer hands gently and they're like, hmm.
Tally's been giving me tips because she's also a celestial warlock. I may have he's kind of shuffling from foot to foot here. May not have realized that I could heal with my magic because the wishing star is also celestial.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Um, well, um, uh-huh. So you came to me for advice?
Yes, and I think Tally would cry if I killed another plant.
I think I think any druid in a 5 mile radius would smell the deaths of the poor innocent, and Bon like reaches out to poke one of the ice shards with plant in it. Plants. Yeah, I can help you, kid. Come on, come on.
Yeah.
I've got
God,
just the thing.
I'm imagining Bond is like, oh, every druid in a 5 mile radius can feel it, and we can't do like a druid at the edge of Toontown, like on their hands and knees, like banging the crowd, like,
No!
why? Ooh, injustice.
The carnage! Um,
God.
uh, Bond gets up and they walk over to like a supply closet. That's like across from some of like the stuff they have set up. And they open the door and they pull out. Do you want to roll a perception to see?
Okay. Okay. God.
Please roll a
Okay.
perception. And
That's an 8.
that looks vaguely like a body. It looks like a body, a vaguely human-esque body that Bond pulls out of the closet and lugs over to a cot and lays it on the cot.
Okay, he rolled a 21 on his whiz save, so his immediate thought isn't that Bond murdered someone. Holy shit. I knew he would snap someday. But
They would
he's
snap
just like,
someday.
he rolled, yeah, he rolled a 21. He's just like, please tell me that's a dummy.
Yes, this is your new best friend. And Bond kind of like pats the head and it like the neck kind of turns and it looks over at Mersel with its like blank mannequin stare.
And Marcel kind of looks at this mannequin and kind of like looks at Bond and it's just, why do you have this?
This is my medical dummy for practicing and teaching people things like CPR and how to deal with all sorts of fun Heimlich maneuvers, and in your case, I guess, not setting things you want to heal on fire or freezing them. Because, being a healer, that's kind of the opposite of what you want to do.
Sal's just looking at Bond, and his face is just like calling you out on your bullshit as he goes, and what? And that can't be your only reasons. I know you well too well for that.
Bond kind of like pats the mannequin dummy's cheek, and they're like, sometimes I like to leave it in random places and costumes and watch people freak out.
I knew it. He just like puts his head in his hands.
And Bond kind of like sort of hops over to Marcel and kind of gives him a poke and is like, come on then, show me what you were trying to do.
All right, okay. And Sal kind of uncurls and takes his hands off his face, and before he sets his hands like on the mannequin, though, he goes, does this dummy have a name?
Why don't you give them a name so you can get nice and attached to your new friend?
That's. I don't think that's how it works.
Well, we can call it engineer or Jack or you can pick a name.
It's not like upon like as soon as you say the name like Jack, like he looks extremely tempted. Like he looks extremely tempted. But he shakes himself out of it. And he's just like, okay, not Jack, not Jack. I don't think he'd forgive me if I named this dummy after him. And he considers this. And he considers this. And then he snaps his fingers and goes, how about Gil?
You want to call the dummy Gil?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. At least Gil is fireproof, mostly.
Yeah. And he just has like this most mischievous like look on his face. And he's just like, do you think we could bring this back home to the apartment for a bit and leave it in Gil's room?
You know, we could do that. We could do that. Do you want to just leave it in a la nude, or shall we dress it up?
We can dress it up. I don't know. I could lend it my coat and turtleneck and hat.
We could have it looking in the corner or T-posing, like its rigging is messed up. You know, it's a world of possibilities, I'm sure.
Yeah, Cell has the most angelic smile on his face, but Bon, you've known him for a while now. You can bet that this is revenge for all the times that Cell has like seen fake spiders.
there's there's devil horns holding up that angelic fucking crown.
What? What devil hearts? No, no. Marcel? Really? Hey, look at that face. Look at that face. He's so sweet. He totally would never like leave like a dummy dressed like him in the apartment and just fuck off to go stay in the clubhouse for the night.
Oh my god, amazing. I'm all for them Blair Witching it. Just
I'm so sorry, kid. Sorry.
no, no.
Listen. Marcel can be chaotic and prank his friends as a treat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Look. Bon is just an enabler. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
and honestly, as Marcel like gets started on putting like his hands on it, then he goes, you know, I've actually been thinking of doing something.
oh, what's that?
I was thinking of I was thinking of buying a fake plant and giving it to Gil and seeing how long it takes for him to notice.
That's that's amazing. You really have a bone to pick with him right now, huh?
And he's just smiling like and he's just like, um, what can I say? Well, and he's grinning. And I don't do crime, so I have to let stuff out somehow.
That makes one of us. Do you want to try and heal our lovely, absolutely not a devil tune?
Yes, all right, here we go. And I don't know what I have to roll for this.
Roll to hit. roll
Roll
to
to
hit.
hit? Seriously?
Roll to hit. Uh, yeah, I think
That's a
that hits.
27. That was
20.
almost a crit.
That was almost a crit. I have a question. What is Marcel's like standard damage roll?
It depends on what spell he's using.
Okay. What's one of his damage cantrips?
His one of his damage cantrips, and
Mhm.
also his signature spell underlined, bolded, and italicized is Eldritch Blast.
Where do you want to Eldritch blast Bond's office?
You were the one who asked me like about his damage cantrips.
I'm so sorry that I forgot that Marcel is a fucking walking anti-aircraft missile.
Or we could be nice and we could be nice and just say that he casts like shocking grasp instead.
Yeah, roll the damage. Pick a number and pick a spell, pick something and just roll the damage and what the
Okay, he
effect will
casts
be.
okay, shocking grasp. Jesus
Mm-hmm.
Christ. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, and I'm gonna take a screenshot of what the spell is.
amazing. Amazing. Um, also, the camera shutter noise was very funny.
Shut up! I don't know how to mute my screenshot noise.
It's cute. Okay, so considering it's lightning, and this is a partially like rubber and ballistics gel and metal dummy, like it's a you try and like heal it like you would someone who is wounded, and it's just you hear the comical like zap noise and like some of there's like arcing bits of like lightning coming off of this body, and like the whole thing like jerks on the table, um and then it like
So
flops down.
ourselves looking down at the dummy and then looking at Bon and then looking at the dummy and it's just like that wasn't right.
Well, if it was dead, I don't know if you would kill it dead or resuscitate it. So.
Bon! I actually am gonna roll a real quick. If it's a one, nothing happens. If it's a two, something happens. It's
It's
a
two.
two. So you know how when you get hit with static electricity, sometimes your hair fluffs out.
Yes.
Imagine that like Mercel's like there's like a pause before Mercel's hair just flumps like in the Ghibli style, and he's just like
Bond kind of like gently reaches over and like pokes him a little, and there's probably like a little static zap noise. Generally, before you do something like that, you yell clear. Do you, I'm
shut
guessing.
up.
Do you want to try again, or do you want to try taming that cloud you have on your head now?
I'm going to try and brush it down first, and he's gonna take off his hat and attempt. And I don't know what I will roll for this dexterity.
Um, I, sure. You know what? Sure.
That's
A
a
23.
23. Yeah, he pats his hair down like in an almost Tunish fashion, and it flattens. And he readjusts his hat on his head, and then he kind of like looks down at the dummy and makes like a frustrated noise.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Gosh, and he and I think like the reason why it was shocking grasp instead of healing is because Cell has never like at least in at this point where when this FPS happens, Cell has
Mm-hmm.
never like done healing before. He's never learned any healing spells in the past. He's never did any healing spells in the past. He never
Mm-hmm.
did any healing. So like when he was touching the dummy and like he was channeling his magic, like it automatically took the paths that were most used, if that makes sense. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if there are magic channels in a spellcaster, like like this the one for shocking grasp already exists. It's pre-existing. The one for healing is like non-existent.
Mm-hmm. Bond kind of hums and haws as they watch Marcel kind of look frustrated. And there's humor there, but also like they're sort of beginning to like settle into the okay, he genuinely needs someone to teach him. I got my laugh. Let's teach now. Um, and they kind of reach over and gently pat Marcel's hands, and they're like, "You're kind of shit at this."
Thanks.
you
And he
know?
huffs and he crosses his he huffs and he crosses his arms.
You know, just because you suck at it doesn't mean you can't get better. You know?
Yeah, I know. He's running a hand through his hair, and Bon, you may roll an insight if you like.
Bon will roll an insight. Bon will definitely roll an insight. That's a
Holy
nat
shit, that's a
20,
nut.
baby.
Okay, with a nut. God, that's a fucking nat 20. Holy
Yup.
God. With nat 20, like, Cell's calming down. Like, he's running a hand through his hair and he's calming down a little. But also, like, he looks kind of like. He looks kind of like he's used to this. He looks like he was frustrated, yes. He was frustrated. But also, like, he doesn't look surprised. He doesn't look
Mm,
surprised. And you look at him and it feels like he had expected for this to go like to be difficult. And he seems very used to like failing at this and have and knowing like that he'd have to harder to get better at it.
mm-hmm.
And even with a nat 20, that's all I can give you because Mersel has not told Bon anything whatsoever about any of his lore.
Mm-hmm. It'd
I'm
be
so
like
sorry,
that.
only one person. I'm so sorry. Only three people know now, and one of them, one of them, Marcel told because he wanted to help comfort them, and one of them, Marcel did not tell, but accidentally found out from someone else.
You know, it'd be like that sometimes. You know, Lord go he who. Um, but
Okay, should I do anything before I try again?
hmm. Is that Marcel saying that or Vamp saying that?
No, Marcel.
Okay. Um, Bond kind of hems and haws a little more, and they're like, "Have you ever tried healing magic before?"
Oh, looks kind of caught, but he shakes his head slowly.
Hmm. Well, healing magic, at least in my experience, is very different from offensive magic. So if you've never done healing magic before, I feel like if we keep attempting, maybe at some point, we'll set something on fire and Bond kind of like pokes the dummy a little. Um and it kind of like doesn't really super move, but it like, it's the poke poke poke.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Marcel, whenever you cast your magic, what does it feel like to you?
Hmm. He thinks, and then he goes, I. I mean, it depends on the spell.
Hmm. What does it feel like whenever someone heals you?
Oh, and he kind of like tilts his head a little. I am trying to remember if Marcel was ever healed by a spell, like in any
Oh
of his
my
games.
god. How?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was that one instant where the Tasash alibi healed him in the aftermath of Luctrio. I think Bond healed him once as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's also probably not something he's experienced very often because usually he doesn't get that hurt. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
really get that hurt that often. So he kind of goes, well, it differs between people, I guess. I don't usually need to be healed that much. And yeah, because he doesn't get hurt very
Mm-hmm.
often. Doesn't get hurt to the point of needing healing very often. It's just when you are tallied to it, it feels kind of like a hug. Feels warm.
Mm-hmm. 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 So, different than being hit with someone else's spell, though, right? One meant to hurt.
He nods.
So, part of that, you have to think, you know, has to do with the intent of the caster. If you don't know how to make it feel, even for yourself, to heal, of course you're going to struggle with figuring out how to heal, and so you're gonna just bzz the dummy.
Uh, yeah, Tali said something similar as well. She said her magic, healing magic felt like a hug.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I
mm?
I had a few support magic, like enhance ability. He kind of like gestures with his hands, but I don't think that really feels the same as healing magic, does it?
No, not really, but it's closer than, magic missile and eldritch blast and make things explode spells.
Hey, like Cell's just like crossing his arms and just like I have some more spells than just making things explode.
Oh, you do? Like,
Yeah, I have fly, and I have dispel magic, and I have like disguise self, and he starts listing them off.
just 20 minutes of Cell listing off his different spells.
Yeah, he has a lot of spells. Like, oh my god, why do you have this many spells? Oh right, that's because you're magic initiate tome of the like warlock of the tome.
Magic-y magic man.
Magic-y magic man, and he ends by saying, "Okay, so I have to try harder to try and make it feel like healing."
Nope. And Bon reaches over and pokes Mercel's nose, and they're like, first things first, you phrased that wrong. It's not necessarily a try harder situation. You can't really brute force something like this.
So, and he is kind of tilting his head. Like, gears are turning. If working hard for it doesn't work, then what? I'm supposed to let it come naturally?
I
That's.
mean, hmm. You feel you feel protective over people, right?
Wait, what did one say? Sorry, I cut out.
Yeah, you're good. Bond said, you feel protective over people, right?
Not.
And in some cases, you want to be like a shield, right? Even if it involves bzzing something before I can bzz them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, part of that is, again, this is in my experience with healing magic. So, it may not be universal, but part of my training of being a healer has to do with the fact that you are going to want to protect people and you're going to want to keep them safe and healed, right?
Yes.
And you can't work harder necessarily always at that. Sometimes you have to have faith in those people, or you have to pack a bigger stick.
He does like snort at that.
So, follow my line of logic here. And Bon puts their right hand over the chest of the dummy, like fingers palm flat, fingers spread out, their talons just very, very lightly resting on the chest of this dummy. And they're like, if I want you to get back up, if I want you safe, you have to move if you're in danger, right?
Yes.
So if you and I were in a fight and you got hurt and you couldn't move, and I wanted you to be able to move, and I wanted you to be able to get out of danger, you take feelings like that will to keep the other person going. And Bon casts Cure Wounds. And you watch as these like green and orange markings and white, vaguely almost like a holographic of bone over the ends of their talons and up their hands. All of these markings appear as this sort of green energy seeps into the dummy, and you watch this like light on its chest turn green, and makes a little ding noise. And
Okay. Okay, I think I may get it.
mm-hmm, it's the I have to heal you so you can get back up. You need to get back up because you're in danger. That might work better for you than trying to follow the line of logic you've been so far.
Okay. Alright, and he nods. Yeah, Cell is like, Mon, you've known him for a while. Literally, his whole thing is that he gets caught up in other people's like stories and adventures, and he doesn't mind because it gives him the opportunity to help them if they need it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to try and heal the dummy again.
Okay.
What do I have to roll for this?
Um, how much of that did Cell understand? How much of that did Cell understand of Bond's line of logic?
I don't know. Let me roll for it. Like, this is just to see how long it took him to get it, not whether or not he caught it in the end.
Mm-hmm.
An 8, okay, it took a bit. Like, it took a
Mm-hmm.
while. Like, it took a Ghibli, like, pause and, like, hair fluffing while. But he gets it. Like, he feels that protective instinct too. And it's like, again, he never had healing spells, but he did have support spells. He still has a few support spells. And again, it's not exactly the same emotion, but his support spells actually follow that line of logic more than his healing spells do. They're always like driven by his like by instinct to keep people safe, keep them out of danger, keep them from getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And he supposes that if a support spell is something to prevent that, if he kind of like follows that line of logic, then his healing spells would be motivated by the desire to heal someone who's already hurt rather than prevent the hurt from happening in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of his line of logic right now. It's a little harder, he realizes, to like get that intent out when he's doing it on a dummy, because like the dummy isn't exactly injured.
Mm-hmm.
But he's gonna try.
Um, how about this? Roll me a wisdom check.
Okay, a check, not a save.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, hold on. That would have been a 7 with the +2 modifier.
Well, I was gonna make the DC a 10.
Oh
So, pick me an effect that happens to this dummy.
no! Okay, let me look through his spells. He's doing. I think like, um, in there's like this pause, and then the dummy starts glowing, and for a moment, Sal's like, "Oh, am I doing it?" But then you both realize that he cast light, like the cantrip light.
Oh my god, it's just glowing like a rave light.
Yeah, and he's just, no, not quite. At least it wasn't in the attack spell, though.
You've definitely made progress. Can you? And Bon is like poking the foot. Can you turn it off?
Yeah, and Sal kind of waves his hand and turns it off. He dismisses it.
Well, you've definitely made progress beyond things exploding. Which is good for, an approximately half an hour of a lesson, at best.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Hey, you can roll another insight if you like.
I was gonna say, that's not very enthusiastic, Mersel. 10, goodness.
Okay, you know what? I'll contest it. Holy shit!
A
You
10!
God, we rolled the exact same thing. Okay, so I will say, you think this might be bothering him a little more than he lets on, but you're also not too sure because fucking you know at this point that Starboy can lie like a champ.
Bon
It's like
is.
that thing where you like you can try and ask him, will he
Yeah,
give
I
you
was gonna
straight answer?
say. Bon is gonna, like. And, like, stare at Marcel a moment, like, cock their head a little like a bird. And then they're gonna sort of like shoulder check Marcel a little, like give him a little bump with their shoulder.
Huh?
Let's see
Yeah,
now
Don,
you.
what? Hmm. So, god fucking damn it. What's a 22 in deception? He kind of like blinks a little and then he cocks his head and he smiles and it's kind of confused. He goes, "Nothing's eating at me. I'm just thinking of how to move forward from here. How can I actually cast the proper healing?" And he's like, and he looks like he's telling the truth.
He looks like he's telling the truth. Here's the thing. Between Marcel and Gil and even Sandy, Bon doesn't trust a single fucking thing out of these kids' mouths sometimes. Because they're all full of shit. All of three of them.
Yeah,
All three of them are
yeah,
liars to their bones.
yeah.
All
God, you're
three of
so
them.
fucking lucky. God, Bon is so fucking lucky that Marcel did not get expertise in deception but in another stat instead. Because if he had expertise, that would have like increased to a plus 11.
Mm-hmm. Bon just kind of gives Marcel a long look. And they're like, you're absolutely fine. And there's nothing wrong, Bon. And everything's perfectly hunky dory in my little Marcel Starboy world. And no, this isn't bothering me at all. And I don't have anything going on with my life. Bon, of course. No, I'm fine. I'm a perfectly reasonable young adult. Uh-huh. And Bon's
Marcel
like,
just kind of.
I need
Marcel's
you
just waiting for Bon to finish.
Bon's like Bon is like making like the most exaggerated faces they can, and they've got like their left hand doing the talking motion, and they're alternating between giving it and Mersel like the most dubious look.
Mersel kind of just waits for Bon to finish on her roll again. Still 30 fucking 20. So kind of waits for Bon to finish, and then it's just kind of like, well, yeah. I don't know what to tell you. That was what I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm. Are you lying to me, Mersel?
Are you seriously enacting a meme right now, Audio?
Nope. If there's a meme, I don't necessarily remember it right this second. Bon is asking that absolutely 100% legit. Are you lying to me, Mersel?
No, of course not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have Bon roll insight.
Okay.
A 13.
No!
God damn it, Bon. Where are your good rolls?
He wasted them on the last nat 20.
Yeah, they really did. It's just like they are so like dubious of Mersel though, right? They do not trust like that. Like they won't necessarily press right this second, but Bon will remember this.
Bon will remember this.
If Bon finds out that Mersel is lying to them, oh my god. Goodbye, Mersel. Bon is going to take back any assistance in pranking Gil, and Bon's gonna get Gil to make your life a living hell. At least
I imagine
for a
it's
day.
also that thing. I imagine it's also like further complicated by the fact that Marcel has been trying to be more open recently, so he genuinely can't tell if Marcel has like nothing wrong with him right now, or if he's relapsing, or if it's just like, oh, it's genuinely something like pretty small that he doesn't want to butter Bon about.
Mm-hmm. They're sus. This is a sus bird.
It's honestly, I will say though, it was honestly just kind of like, it was honestly just Marcel not wanting to like seem too upset, because like he was like telling himself that he shouldn't be this upset, because you know, at least he has magic.
Oh
Kind of knew what he was getting into when he made his pact. It wasn't like he, like in Cell's opinion, he wasn't like hiding anything like severe or anything from Bond.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just holding him like, dude, you can't tell Bon you're upset. Like, that's fine. Doesn't have to be life threatening every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bon just gives him another like sort of look. And they look at the dummy and they look at Mersel and they're like, So let's say that in some sort of terrible accident or something, it was not me. It was not me who could walk away from this situation. I was injured and I needed you to heal me, Mersel. And could you do it, you think? If it was me on this table rather than this dummy?
I don't want to test it out on the offside that I set you on fire.
Bon kind of gives him a wry look, and they're like, at this rate, considering I could stand to grow back some feathers. And hey, Mersel, in case you hadn't noticed up until now, Bon's wings are kind of like pink. And they kind of have like their feathers are not like fully blonde like they normally are. They are definitely pink.
He is looking at that, and I'm gonna roll a fucking history for a second.
Yeah, go for it. That's a snap one. That's a nat one.
I'm using a luck point.
You're using a luck point That okay. You have a 23 instead of a nat 1.
He's specifically remembering that times that he hung out with Sandy, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do crime with Gil and someone else, and I'm gonna be disguising myself to do it." And you just get the longest look from herself.
Here's the thing. Bon wouldn't understand why Mersel is staring at them besides, because it's outside the context of the situation. Like, Marcel's probably been, like, thinking and staring at Bon. It, like, finally clicks. But Bon's still thinking about, is Marcel lying to me? How upset is he really? How am I going to teach this kid how to not set people he needs to heal on fire?
Out of curiosity, did you and Sandy and Gil go out to do anything recently?
You see like a pause as Bon thinks a moment. We're gonna have a roll thing, and they look at you and they say, "We went out the other day, and we, got some pastries. Just sort of a cakewalk run. Fly."
And he's just like pausing and like looking at you and just like take like all the cake recipe books that's been popping up around the apartment and Gil gave me.
Oh, Gil gave those to you. That makes sense. Have you been experimenting?
Yes, but that's a side question. You and he kind of like clasps his hands together. Were you three doing anything illegal?
My very existence at times is illegal, Mersel. You're gonna have to be a little more specific. And Bon is giving you a look like they know exactly what you're trying to imply, and it really just is you either have to ask them or they're gonna like straight up deny.
Sal just considers this, and then he shakes his head like he's not getting involved. Alright. As long as you guys had fun and you didn't run into any trouble. And then I guess it's fine. And he turns back to the dummy. What should we do about this?
I mean, we could scribble on a couple of X's and a frowny face, and you you could try again with all of your heart. We could go the questionable moral. Well, not really morals. The more questionable route.
Oh no, I had an idea and I just know that Marcel would have it too.
Amazing. I
I'm not
love
gonna
that.
roll.
Remember the
Marcel
what?
thinks and thinks. I'm not gonna roll. Marcel thinks and thinks and thinks for a second. And then he kind of snaps his fingers and goes, "Wait, what if I hurt myself and then try to heal myself? At least then, if I accidentally set myself on fire or something, you'd be there to heal me."
No, we are not doing that. Nice try.
What? I mean, why not? I mean, it's perfect. If I hurt you, there's honestly very little I can do to help you after. And not, but I can, well, it's my own magic. I'd be more resistant to the damage, and you can heal me if I do end up hurting myself.
No. Like Bon is just like giving you like it's such a complicated look. Like you can roll insight just to see if like Mersel can identify some of these emotions.
Nope.
That's a 6.
Nope, that's a 6.
At the very least, Bon is giving you like such a face journey, and they are just vehemently shaking their head at you. You have no idea exactly like any of the emotions crossing Bon's face, but you can tell it's a very clear no.
Out of character, can I ask what emotions was crossing Bond's face?
It's sort of like the feel whenever your parent is trying to encourage you to do something and you're like, I'm gonna do it the stupidest way possible and inevitably get myself hurt and it will involve us going to the hospital or some shit, and your parent is like just staring at you like, this is my kid. I love this kid so much. This kid is so dumb, and like, you're taking years off my life with my concern for you.
Marcel's just like smiling at Bond, and it's just like, come on, Bond, like it'll be fine. You'll be here, and you're like still one of the best healers I know. I'll be fine.
The
I'm
amount
gonna
of
roll persuasion.
Oh my god. Here's the thing though. Yeah, a 14 ain't gonna do it.
Would it have done it even if I had rolled a 20 something?
Probably not. Because are you crazy? Like Bon is like, are you crazy? That's a more internal Bon though. Just like, are you fucking kidding me? You're used
Wait,
to feeling
in Marcel's head, it makes perfect sense. He'll try to heal himself, and if it fails, and he accidentally, like, I don't know, casts like shocking grasp on himself, like obviously it's gonna do less damage because it's his own pecking magic that's doing it, and also like Bon can actually heal him. Bon is actually here and capable of healing him, and he's not hurting anyone else.
I need you to know also, just out of character, Bon is fucking blown the hell away by the amount of trust that Mersel is putting into them for this whole fucking dumbass idea. Just like, yeah, it'll be fine because you're here. Bon just internally just stabbed by just the innocence in this. Just the amount
It's
of
like a
trust.
Yeah, it's a combination of I don't want to hurt anyone else. It's a combination of Bond is right here and will heal me. And a combination of literally like I'll be fine. I literally have plot armor. I'm not gonna die or anything from this.
Oh my god. The fucking. That last one's definitely at least part cockiness, and you know it.
I am channeling Marcel right now and he sees nothing wrong with this.
God bless America. God bless Einquell. Just fucking pillars save us.
Yeah. And Marcel's just like, come on, bud, it'll be fine. And it doesn't have to like be like a big like injury or whatever. I can just I don't know, get a bruise from slamming my elbow into the table or something and try to heal that.
Bond kind of like covers their face and like rubs their eyes a little, and like shakes their head, and they're like, let's. Here's what we're going to do. You are going to sit down. And Bond gestures at their abandoned desk chair. And you are going to roll up your sleeve. And I am going to very carefully give you a demonstration of my healing magic before you try and heal yourself.
Okay, and he nods and he goes to sit, and it's just like, Marcel, why are you so chill with this? And then you remember like fucking Marcel's life.
Yeah.
And that he's a little bit of an adrenaline junkie.
God. All of these fucking young adults in Bond's life are going to drive them to the brink and back. um, yeah,
I'm
yep.
once again like I'm once again thinking of like Bon looking up to the heavens, like, God, why did Mersel have to have the wishing star as a patron? Like, it's good for him, but also they feel like it excaparated traits that were already there.
Just ASD save me. Um, but yeah, Marcel, you go sit down, and I guess you roll up your sleeve because you won't undress. That's too scandalous. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Bon very like giving you like a very sharp like don't don't fuck around look. Goes over to like their like medical bag that they have set up, and you watch them like pull out like a very like okay, anyone with any issues with like medical stuff, like wait 5 seconds, skip past ahead, because we're doing this the safest way. And that involves Bon is gonna like pull out a scalpel and like disinfect it, and they're going to very gently like walk over to you, and they're gonna like poke the back of your arm just like enough to give you essentially like a paper cut.
Mm.
And then they're gonna gently clasp their hand around your arm, and you watch the same effect as before. um as there's this like almost like pins and needles warm sensation directly around the cut. And then it like is like a rush of warmth up and down your arm, down into your fingertips, up to your shoulder. Again, sort of like the hug that he has described to Bon. And Bon has a
Yeah.
very like intense look on their face for a second, and then they lift their hand away, and the little paper cut is gone.
Yeah, and Marcel was like focusing intently. But also, Bon, if you'd like to roll a little perception for a second.
Absolutely, absolutely. Perception Town. Let's hope Bon gets a good roll. 22.
Yeah, the DC was like a 10, so but you definitely noticed that Sal had, like, before you came back with the staple, Sal had rolled up his other sleeve. You do remember he always wears his bracers which has his daggers in them. You have a feeling that disinfecting a staple did not come to mind.
Oh my god. Maniac. Marcel is a maniac. Marcel is a maniac.
This surprises you how? This
It
fucking
doesn't.
surprises you how?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
You know this guy? I like listen, he has two settings. Either he's the brain cell because everyone else is already being too chaotic, or he's even more chaotic than they are.
Amazing. Um, and God bless. Um, yeah, Bond like gives you kind of like a considering look at that, and they're like, not gonna broach that right now. And they like have their hand away, and they go like, so my thought process for that healing you was Marcel is hurt. I need Marcel to not be hurt. And I can make Marcel not hurt. So I need to make Marcel not hurt. And that is approximately as simple as I can break down the thought process there.
And he nods. Okay, I think I can do this. I think I can. And he nods.
Okay.
One is so scared right now, aren't they?
Bon is nervous. Bon is nervous. I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna have them
Yeah,
roll
it's
with
also that thing.
advantage.
It's also that thing I imagine.
No,
It's
yeah,
also
they don't
that
need
thing I
that
imagine.
advantage. Yeah, that's deception. Bon is very nervous about this whole everything, but they're a very practiced medical professional, and so Mersel doesn't see anything. It's Bon being Bon. Absolutely no
Exactly.
nerves here.
Yeah, I also imagine like it's partly because Bon has seen Marcel's magic like in action, and it's just like, God, like if this fucks up, like
It
it
could go wrong
literally,
spectacularly.
yeah, it could. But also, Bon, you have no fucking room to talk. You literally offered yourself for Marcel to heal.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Bon could cast Death Ward on themselves.
Well, Marcel didn't know that, so too late.
God bless. Okay.
What do I roll for this?
Okay. So I figure roll me another whiz check.
Oh God, this is gonna be fun. 13. Okay, it's above a 10 at
It's
least.
above a 10. We'll say he's because it's also like 5 up from, the one he got before. It's definitely an improvement. Um
I wouldn't say it's. I will say that what if we make it so that the DC he has to pass is like his spell DC.
What's his spell DC?
16.
16. Awesome.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's like that thing where it's not healing, but also it's not like he's not setting himself on fire.
Yeah, it's not like a nat 1 and it's like he's going to cast fireball right at their feet. I know warlocks can't cast fireball, nobody at me. Um but yeah.
I think. Hey, do you want to know what happens?
Oh, yes, I do want to know. Bod would also like to know.
Like in a flash of like blue and gold, the injury disappears. It's just moves in.
Did he fucking disguise it?
Yeah, like literally, like there, it like Bond, like you're just like, oh, like this Bond thing that Cell healed it, because Cell did not, and Cell is kind of looking at the arm with a concentrated expression, like, oh, hold on a second.
I'm gonna have Bond roll investigation, and they're definitely going to touch where they know there was hurt. So I feel like that helps lower the DC. And 18, I
Yeah,
feel like they see through that shit.
yeah, they see through it. It's like Cell isn't doing it on purpose. I need to be clear.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
he looks kind of confused because, and he's just like, the injury's gone, but it's still kind of stings.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Did you do that?
no, you didn't heal it. And Bon, 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 without even thinking, like, heals the boo boo. That's not allowed. And they're like, okay, how do I say this politely? Your slight disregard for your general well being may not be helping your case.
Hey, and Saul kind of like Saul blinks as like his magic like returns to him and says, "Oh, so that's what it was. This kind of stuff." Huh? But I'm improving. Like it's getting better than when I first started.
It, you didn't set yourself on fire. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm
And
very,
it
very
was
grateful.
and and it was technically, and he kind of like winces and rubs the back of his neck. I did say I didn't want that arm to be hurt, look hurt, and I guess
We're gonna give you
technically, technically it did do what he asked, just like not the way he wanted it to.
you win by the letter of the law, not the spirit of the law.
Yeah, Marcel was like, okay, I don't want this arm to be hurt. I don't want this like injury to be there. I don't want the injury to be there. And like it was like, oh okay, and the injury was not there.
Mm-hmm.
They
Bon
disguised it.
Bon is just shaking their head. You got the idea. You're making progress. And Bon like disinfects their scalpel again, and they're like, all right, we're gonna try something. And no, and like Bon points at him, no complaining, and
Okay.
they're gonna give themselves like a little paper cut, and they're like, now you heal me.
I need to Sal manages not to fucking like freak when Vaughn cut himself because what hello no, and he's keeping his composure by sheer force of will.
Here, Bon is a medical professional. They like, it's probably like on the back of their hand, because like, I swear to God, every single TV show that has you cut your palm, I'm coming for you with a baseball bat. You never do that.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah.
Because that's all different muscle connecty areas. It's back of the arm or hand, you maniacs. Um, and they like, yep, they just gave themselves like a little paper cut. It's not that big. It's enough that you see like blood well up, you know? And they're like, you want me not to be hurt, Marcel. You have the ability in yourself to make it so.
This is the equivalent of Bond holding a gun to Marcel's head.
But, Bond's just like, you have the ability to make it so I am not hurt anymore. You can do this, Marcel.
Hey,
You
all
can
right,
do this.
I can do this, and he doesn't look very sure. He's never, again, he's never learned healing before. He's never had healing anything before. And again, you know zilch nada about Marcel Lord, but you also get the feeling that he might have previously known more violent spells just by how easy it was for his spells to like set the dummy and plants on fire or freeze them and whatnot. Like his attack channels are way open.
Does Marcel want to roll insight on Bon?
We can try. That's a 16, not bad.
Marcel, Bon is looking at you very intently, and they are very gently offering you their hand. And there is absolute and utter faith and belief in the fact that you can do this. And also, just Bon trusts you to not electrocute them or set them on fire or turn them into a pile of bird ashes and dust.
Okay, here we go.
Do it with advantage, because this is, you know, a 6. Jesus Christ, a 16.
Oh, a 16. That just about meets.
I mean, meets it, beats it. So I feel like because you rolled a 6 at first, it's Marcel is very nervous. Like, he's probably not showing it at all because he's got a fucking whack deception. But he is exceedingly nervous about fucking this up and electrocuting or turning Bon into a pile of bird dust and feathers.
Yeah, he is aware that even though the wishing star did take away his talent, so he doesn't really consider him strong at the moment. He also is aware that fucking even just raw power can, shred someone.
So for a moment, it's definitely like the feeling like Marcel is going to cast something that will hurt Bon. Because again, that's a 4 with even with the +2. And I'm guessing Marcel just like he starts to feel that, right? And it's just this moment of like just raw, I can't hurt Bon. And that's what lets him heal them. And
Yeah, like the spirit was already there. He just needed like that kind of like dip in cold water to like force his magic away from like the path that it's most familiar with, which is attacking.
Mm-hmm.
And Bon, it kind of feels like I get to pull this on. I like ranting about how magic feels, okay? Like it's like Marcel's magic kind of fluctuates between cold and warm, but it's comforting. It's like someone taking your hand, squeezing, or like a shoulder to cry on. It's like all the like it's like stars like filling in the empty bits parts of you. Very gentle and very soft, and it and very like careful, as if it does not want to hurt you. And there's just this like want to there's just this desire to see you like safe and sound and okay.
Oh, do me a favor. Whatever spell Marcel has that would cast to heal, go ahead and roll it. Roll the HP to heal. Cause let's just
Okay,
see
I
the
will.
number. Cause I'm very
All right,
proud.
let's do that.
I'm very proud of this
Hold
boy, and
on,
so
I
is
am
Bon.
looking at this. It's not a spell. It's actually a feature.
Ooh.
Da-da-dee, da-da-dee, da-da-da. And then okay, okay. Da-da-dee, da-da-da. Ba-ba-bee, ba-ba-ba. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, that 19 hit points. It like I feel at best it was 1 hit point because it's a paper cut, but it's yes, that is it does it really pecking good. There's probably like a really anime cool like cut of like Marcel's face, and like Bond's hand is just out of view, and there's like a glow and like the shing of little stars glimmering away, casting Marcel's face in this nice warm glow. And Bond is like looking intently at Marcel, and like you watch their face kind of soften.
Mhm.
And there's definitely a distinct look of pride on their face as they're watching Marcel.
And then Cell and then Cell just kind of pauses and the magic flow stops. It's, did I do it?
Bond wiggles their talons in Marcel's hand, and they're like, "Well, I don't see anything, and I don't feel anything. So either you tricked me really good, or you did it."
And Cell just kind of like lights up and fun. You have seen Marcel happy before. Like it's not like you haven't, but he's usually so chill. You don't you like this is your first time like seeing that unbridled like joy that just spills out of him like it doesn't have enough space to stay inside. And he just lights up. Like all jokes aside about him being a Star Warlock, he lights up.
Peck
Not
you.
literally, but like his face like lights up and like it's like all the shadows are chased away and his eyes are open and you see like the stars kind of spin in his eyes. It's just like I did it. I did it.
Bond pulls Marcel into a hug and just squeezes him very gently. Um, and they're like, "You did it. You did it. You did it."
And Cell kind of like pauses when he's hugged and kind of like hugs back and he's just like and he's a little confused as to why Bond chose to hug him because he's as much as he has so many friends and family right now, this kind of thing still take him off guard sometimes.
Aww.
It's like I did it. Oh, gosh, I can't. I stars. I did it. I didn't did it.
Bon like pulls back from the hug after a minute and like playfully ruffles his hair, kind of like mussing his hat to the side a little, and they're grinning as best someone with a face of an owl can, and it's very genuine as well. Um, and they're like, "Look at you. You are you you did it. And I'm very
I
proud
did
of
it.
you."
And again, he kind of flushes at that, and his hair fluffs out, and he looks caught. His breath looks like it's caught in his throat. He does not look like he's used to that. He doesn't seem to know how to kind of deal with that.
Internal Bon and Audio are dead. Um, just Bon is constantly just starstruck by these fucking brilliant kids in their lives who are also just so hurt in so many small ways. And they just lean forward and gently bonk their forehead to Mersel's and they say, I'm I'm so proud of you, Mersel.
Oh, mm, thank you. And he can't really hide the smile.
Do you want to try on the dummy?
He looks at the dummy. Says, okay, all right, I'll try on the dummy.
Oh, come on, it's Gil. Pretend that he's just jumped off of some really tall building and gone squash instead of squish, and he's making accordion noises, and you need to unaccordion him.
Don't say that. Don't jinx it. You know how tunes are. That might actually happen when we get back.
I think it would be really funny, to be honest. Just. And
God.
Gil
And
complaining the whole time.
yeah, I don't think I'll make him roll another wisdom, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna roll to see how much HP. Like 7, like pretty decent, but nowhere near as much as it was for Bond.
Mm-hmm. It's enough. That's the thing. It's enough. And Marcel, you watch as the little green light on the mannequin goes ding, like in a nice happy tone. Which is just another yay! You did it! You did it! And it's not on fire.
And well, that's good enough. And he kind of like blinks happily for going before pausing and looking down and going, I think I'm out of magic. At least healing magic. Because, fucking warlock.
Fucking warlocks with their 2 spell slots.
But hey, at least he only needs a short rest to get them all back.
Mm-hmm. Bon Bon looks actually like genuinely happy. Like, just they just like they're like fluffing their feathers and like ruffling them back down, and Bon seems lighter. Bon seems lighter than normal.
Marcel's happy that Bond seems lighter, even if he's not quite sure why.
Bless his heart. And they pat the dummy and they're like, now, how long do you think it would take us to get this to the apartment?
And Marcel pauses for considering, and then he kind of like pulls out his clubhouse key. Not long, I think.
Mm-hmm. And I think if that's where we want to wrap up, um, someone's gonna have to tell Hart that Gil's gonna find a mannequin dummy dressed up as Marcel, I guess T-posing or Blair Witching in his room. Um,
Yeah. Like it's like in a little no god, doesn't Gil's room lead to a secret villain's lair?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm just like, oh my god, what if like the dummy is like seated at the villain like swivel chair?
Oh
And
my
when Gil
god.
like swivels it, it's like staring directly at him with its like hands like in the classic evil villain pose.
Oh my god. That's amazing and evil as hell. Absolutely,
Me
absolutely.
gesturing. I have to Will Smith at Mersel, who is a chaotic kid.
Points at Bond. Chaotic neutral. They do what they want. um.
Chaotic good. He does what he wants within moral grounds.
Mhm. And so you get like a final shot of like Bond's office door sign having been flipped to like I'm out, fuck off, go find someone else. And then just a shot of Bond like half dragging, half smuggling the body in through Mercel's magic door.
Yeah. And
Again, like
actually, there is one last thing I want Sal to say before like the end of this FPS.
oh,
As they're kind of dragging the body and like, hey, Pawn, wanna roll inside?
oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
It's fine. You have a +7. You can't feel that. Yeah, 17. It looks like he wants to say something to you, but he's like trying to like find the words.
Mhm. Bond kind of cocks their head at him and they're like, "You got something you want to say?"
So pauses before going. I should and he thinks and he pauses and he's go. I should introduce you to someone soon.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a pause that stretches. One, you can roll another insight, although this time it'll be contested with deception.
Oh my god. Pray for me. A 13, god damn it. A 20. Yeah, hush.
23. I'm sorry, but again, hard to read. It's really fucking hard to read this kid. And he's just did he, does the name Wind Chimes ring any bells? I know he's pretty famous in the magic scholar circles here in Anqual. I don't know if you would know him.
Alright, Bond's gonna roll history. Plus frickin' 5. A 13.
13. You vaguely heard it. You're not sure.
Bond kind of makes a considering face and like, I have no doubt if there's someone you want to introduce me to, they're kind of important, at least to you.
Oh, God, I'm so tempted to make you roll another insight, but also your insight has been shit so far.
You know what? Just for shits and giggles, we'll have them roll.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'll have another contesting. Oh, that's a dirty 20. Oh, that's a 15. When you say they have to be someone important to you, like again, it's a very good liar, but cannot fully like cover up like the emotional journey his face takes there. Like you get the sense he doesn't know how to feel about you saying that. He doesn't know how to feel himself about that. And he
Mm-hmm.
finally settles on. I met him. It was really cool, and he offered to mm, well, he's basically pretty famous scholar, but he's also like pretty known for being a teacher and taking on apprentices as is usually the norm. And he offered to take me up as an apprentice, and I accepted. And again, you have a feeling there's more to this because you rolled a 30-20 to Cells 15, but you can't be very sure.
I feel like as the camera cuts off, Bond is like, I feel like there's something more to this story. And then it's like the door shuts behind them. Um
Yeah,
Cutting
and
off the
I'm
rest of the
sorry, Bon.
conversation.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Bon. You're not getting anything out of Marcel.
Damn.
Like that's all you'll say.
Mm-hmm. I guess at some point Bon is gonna have to meet with wind chimes. Uh, but that's it for our FPS. Thank you all for coming. Thank you very much for this, Vamp.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for like having this FPS. I'm so glad I could just have Mersel be completely off the shits.
Absolutely. And let's say goodbye to the recording. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, and God, audio, you have to look at Toonkind the ending.
I can't wait. All right. Bye.